And world champion kickboxer Brad Riddell has forecast more pain for Zheng Zhaoyu when they collide in a highly anticipated rematch at Powerplay 38. Zhaoyu, a rising Chinese lightweight, sparked a verbal spat when he declared that New Zealander Riddell had next to no chance of winning the second bout at Melbourne Pavilion on August 25. George St. Pierre feared he had cancer. Conor McGregor faces New York court over alleged wild attack at Stadium 1 championship reign of Kings. Martin Nguyen's third division world crown in Manila. He can't and won't control the rematch. Zhaoyu said, "I've followed his fights since we fought and there's no doubt I'm going to beat him." When told of Zhaoyu's remarks, Riddell could only laugh. "Last time he was lucky. Because I was fighting Frankie Georgie the next week." Riddell said, "I fought twice in a week and I just cruised through that fight. Old mate Zhaoyu didn't even turn up for the weigh-in. He shouldn't run his mouth too much considering last time I took the fight for a paycheck and I beat him. I was more focused on Frankie. And I don't care what he says too much. I've never met someone who has lost so many fights and been so confident." Riddell said, "I admire his willpower." Riddell said he is fitter and stronger than the man who defeated Zhaoyu more than 2 years ago on a Kunlan card. "The last time I fought him, I was coaching myself because I was fighting out of Tiger Muay Thai," he said. "Now I don't coach at all. I fight full-time with a very good coach. If anything, it's going to be a whole lot worse for him." Riddell has taken some of the world's biggest scalps in his decorated 59-9 career, beating the likes of John Wayne Parr, Steve Moxon, Harley Vision and Jason Scarry. The New Zealand Commonwealth and Oceania middleweight champion and WKBF world middleweight champion. He is highly sought after around the globe. Riddell has stepped into the ring for glory, Kunlun, and won championship and is eyeing of the next chapter of his career. "In the UFC, we've had a few offers in the last year or so, but we're just waiting," Riddell said. "I've got a few goals that I want to achieve in kickboxing. First, obviously I want to get as much experience in the cage as I can before I can go to the UFC, and you don't want to be calling them. You want them to call you, so that's what we're going to do. I want that glory belt. I just want to fight on the show that has the most recognized fighters and beat them. I don't really care what the show is, what the money is. I just want to rank number one legitimately. There's a few standout fighters, but one championship has pretty much signed all the best fighters, so that looks like the place where I'll have a few more fights." One championship recently came knocking with its revolutionary One Super Series, providing Riddell with a fight against the tough Dutchman Region Eersel. Eersel prevailed via decision, but that hasn't stopped One Championship from placing a contract under Riddell's nose. "But I'm just freelancing at the moment," Riddell admitted. "I was contracted for quite a while, but my coach and I feel that it's better to freelance this year," he said. "Our end goal is the UFC, and One Championship wants to tie you up for 2 years. They offered us a contract after the last fight, and it was quite long, so we thought would keep freelancing." He hopes to follow in the footsteps of friends and fellow City Kickboxing training partners Israel Adesanya and Daniel Hooker, who have shot to prominence in recent months following huge victories in the UFC, and with Riddell's burgeoning trophy cabinet, the Auckland-based gym is developing a strong reputation. "We have a heap of talent, but we also have an amazing culture," Riddell said of the gym, run by Eugene Behrman and Doug Viney. "Everybody wants everybody to do well, and it's a place that you really want to train at every day. You don't want to miss a session. The best thing is the culture. There's that saying that you can have a team of champions, but a champion team will always beat a team of champions." Adesanya has developed a cult following, not just for his fighting, but his extravagant personality. "He's definitely not putting that on for the public," Riddell said. "That's easy. He says what comes to his head, and that's why he's so appealing. There's a fine line between things that he should and shouldn't say, but that's him. If he says too much, Eugene will rein him in, but at the end of the day he's getting paid. He's getting noticed and getting the gym noticed. He's very flamboyant and he's not fake." Adesanya has declared his intentions of winning the UFC middleweight crown, and Hooker is fast climbing the lightweight rankings. Both men, Riddell believes, can be world champions 100%. Riddell said, "Izzy trains very hard, and so does Dan, and they put in a hell of a lot of work, but they're both mentally sound. They are very focused, very driven, and they fully believe that they will be the best. It's self-belief, hard work, and these wins that they keep having lifts the morale." A brutal striker, Riddell is honing his ground game in a bid to join Adesanya and Hooker in the UFC. It's not his strong suit, but he stressed he should not be underestimated on the ground. "I've grappled every day for the last few years," Riddell said. "I've been in a 8-man grappling tournament recently. I compete, but I just don't announce it to the world. Obviously, I just want to keep that as a surprise. I've been prepping for a long time, and I lived with wrestlers in Phuket, so I'm not actually that worried. I just got back from Melbourne, where I trained with Craig Jones, and he's the best grappler in the world for 90 kilograms. I just got destroyed, feeling like a pretzel. I also learned to heap as well." A Powerplay veteran, Riddell said he owed a lot to the promotion, which is one of Australia's best. "They have been awesome to me since day one," Riddell said. "With the amount of fights they give me, they allow me to live as a professional fighter like few other people in New Zealand, and they bring over world-class opponents. It's a huge honor to fight for them." Riddell meets Zhaoyu in the main event at Powerplay 38. Former world champion Chris Bradford is also on the card, fighting in the co-main event, but his opponent is yet to be announced. While two-time world champion Aaron Goodson, the son of legendary Dana Goodson who trained Stan the Man Longinidis, Sam Greco, and a host of others, steps back in the ring on the undercard, Aaron Goodson joins Rob Minity, Marcus Burke, Jacob O'Connor on a stacked card of Australia's kickboxing talent. For tickets and more information, visit http://www.powerplaypromotions.com.au.